Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Friedman. I'm the face you're most likely to see on this channel that I do share with my collaborator, biggest cheerleader, and dear friend, Dr. Emily Kugler. We started this channel to share our pandemic lockdown work on how games intersect with the 18th century, our home field. It grew from there in part because I was actively vlogging what I was doing in class to incorporate games into my teaching. And I do that even now, and I'm so glad so many of you are here. What started out as just a resource for my students for when they are absent from an active learning classroom where there isn't lectures to send them became instead a place where folks who are curious and interested either about including games into their own teaching or just excited about the ways in which academia has embraced games and actual play. It's been an enormous gift, and it's really particularly important to me as someone who works at what we call a land-grant university. I serve the people of my state and beyond. That is an important part of what I think about when I think about my work as an academic. I've tried to make as much of my work freely available as possible. But this video is to explain a little bit of the whens and wherefores of why that isn't the case, because today I'm recording a video recap of a class and I don't know when it will be freely available on the public YouTube, if ever. I have we're going to be totally transparent. This is the 20th time I've started recording this, and it is not scripted. I have some talking points in my head. That's how all of the content here generally works, unless I'm giving an academic talk. So, bear with me, folks. I teach at a time where attacks on higher education and people who do that work, especially in the humanities, are more pointed than ever. That is particularly true of the region in which I live, but not limited to here by any stretch of the imagination. I also started working in games after 2014, after an event I don't even know how to say out loud in a public space. If you know, you know. And if you don't, well, I'm about to record a video about it because my students don't know this history. I want to do it responsibly, especially if I do it in public. But my vlogs are unscripted, off the cuff recaps of what happened in my class. That's far riskier. And so that's why I started a Patreon last summer, knowing that these kinds of threats were becoming more and more real, and I was becoming more and more visible. My work is still largely freely available to people who provide me at least an email address. That gives me some level of friction and security that makes me feel comfortable trying things out that are risky. I was encouraged to also offer what I call the extra credit tier, where for $3, folks can have access to even more raw material, stuff that I really want to keep a close eye on who's got access to it, at least for a little while I iterate, maybe refine, edit, or just think over how I want to send it out. It's a trusted audience of folks. That's what Patreon gives you, right? It gives you a smaller, curated audience who hopefully has your goodwill in mind and wants to support you doing good work. So the video that I'm about to record of my most recent class recap is going to be over there for a little while. And it's entirely possible that there will be other material that comes from this class because it's student directed, where I will keep it there. That's a way that I can give access to my students for free, who are the primary audience for these videos, as well as to people who have a demonstrated sense of goodwill. So I don't love it. I don't love that we are in the time that we are in, and where what feels like a really benign thing to do to a pretty small audience in the grand scheme of YouTube feels so risky. But that's where we are right now. And I don't know when we're not going to be. So maybe this is me doing a lot of overkill but this is what I feel like I have to do. So I hope if you are interested in that kind of material, that you might consider signing up for the free subscription to Patreon, where you will get updates about additional video content that right now is just, it's not spicy. It's just stuff that I'm nervous about, stuff that I want to take particular care in, and I want to take my time with. So this has been your FYI. There will continue to be all kinds of material on this channel for folks to take a look at as we continue to do the good work of thinking about how we can use games to build all kinds of communities, classroom communities, communities in our wider world, intergenerational communities. That's something that I'm working on right now, really excited about. So I'm really glad if you watched to the end of this. Could you leave a comment? I would love to hear why and what you're excited about, and if you're not a subscriber, how you found this channel. And if you are, hey, what brought you here and what are you excited to see more of? Yeah, I do what I think is responsible on this channel, but I also am curious about the audience that is encountering this stuff. And quite honestly, the YouTube demographics are kind of weird and scary, and I don't know if they're true. So your comments are the only way I actually have any sense of who's actually paying attention. So see you soon. You'll see the same shirt if you watch my next video on Patreon. Okay, bye.